Hey guys, it's Alex Mayer, and today I'm going to be talking about the MLB slate, August 19th, 2024, Monday. Thanks for checking out my video, and we're going to talk some Major League Baseball today. So we're going to start with the first game on the slate. It's the Diamondbacks at the Marlins. Diamondbacks, obviously, um, a really hot team as of late. However, they just got swept by Tampa Bay after being very, very hot for a long time. They finally have cooled off. However, they stay in the state of Florida to take on the Marlins, who just lost two out of three against the Mets, but won on Sunday. So we got Fat on the mound for Arizona, undecided for Miami. I think when you look at this game, you're looking at a Diamondbacks team who's absolutely looking to get back on track. And it's easy to look at a Marlins team who's 46 and 78 and basically just with an undecided pitcher as well, want to take Arizona. And I would lean that direction as well. So I would go Arizona -1.5 in this one if you're looking for a lean. Pretty obvious selection, but that's the way I would look. Next game on the card, we got the Reds and the Blue Jays. Two not very good teams. Um, we got undecided on Cincinnati right now. Kevin Gossman going for Toronto tonight. Blue Jays -175 on the money line, from what I can tell. The Reds just got swept by the Royals at home. Toronto lost two out of three against the Cubs in Chicago. Toronto's coming back home. I mean, like I said, these are two teams who are not going to make the playoffs. Gossman on the mound for Toronto, undecided for Cincinnati. I don't really have any strong feelings either way. I probably would lean Toronto on the money line if you're like, hey, make a pick, but nothing that's super strong here. So this would be a pass for me. Um, Orioles at the Mets. Pretty intriguing series kicking off here. Orioles at the Mets. Baltimore 73 and 52 against the Mets, who are 64 and 60. Currently, the Mets are -135 favorite. What I'm seeing on ESPN Bet. We got Taylor Rogers on the mound, or sorry, excuse me, Trevor Rogers on the mound for Baltimore, going up against David Peterson of the Mets. It's pretty incredible that David Peterson's numbers this year, in my opinion, 7-1, 3.04 ERA, a WHIP of 1.39. So that WHIP is higher. You would expect a higher ERA and not a 7-1 record based on his 1.39 WHIP. Going up against Baltimore, who just split a four-game series with the Red Sox. The Mets took two out of three against the Marlins. I'm definitely tempted to look at the Orioles in this game, especially at plus money. I understand the reason why they're underdogs, according to Vegas, would be because Trevor Rogers is pitching, who is 2-11 with a 4.89 ERA and a 1.57 WHIP, right? So over under is 8.5, juice to the over right here. So honestly, Baltimore is a good team, and the Mets is a big series for them. I would look at the over. That would be a lean, and I don't mind taking the Orioles on the money line, especially at plus money. They are the better team. It's just, I guess in this game you're looking at Baltimore and just saying, well, they have a little bit of a pitching disadvantage, and I would say, do they? Um, I'd lean Baltimore and lean the over. Pirates Rangers. We got Luis Ortiz on the mound versus Dane Dunning. The Pirates are a fun, spunky team this year. They're going to fall short, but they're fun and they try. So I respect that. Texas, last year's World Series champs, but having a really down year this year. I mean, yes, they've had a lot of injuries, and that is a fact. However, they've also just not played up to their potential at all. So interesting game. Just from the standpoint of the Pirates are still going to be trying, and it's not that the Rangers aren't trying, but the Rangers are who they are right now. I mean, they narrowly avoided a four-game sweep yesterday. Being able to secure that win against the Twins at home, four-game series. Pirates, they actually won two out of three over the weekend against the Mariners, so they got to be feeling a little bit better about themselves in this game. Pirates are underdogs in this game, and when you look at Luis Ortiz, the pitcher for the Pirates, he's been a little shakier over his last 3 to 4 starts than he kind of has been prior to that, but still, if you're looking for a pick here, I would go Pittsburgh or nothing. Pittsburgh on the money line plus 130 is what I'm seeing. I would go Pirates or nothing. Um, Next game to talk about, we got the Angels and the Royals. We got Carson Fulmer on the mound versus Seth Lugo. I got to give Carson Fulmer some credit. He's done a good job, and when I saw that he was still in the league this year, I was like, wow, he's. I remember when he was pitching for the White Sox, and now he's starting games for the Angels. So pretty cool for Carson going up against Seth Lugo, who's had a really, really, really nice year for Kansas City. Royals are a hot team. They're a confident team. You know, they just swept the Reds in Cincinnati, and the Angels lost 2 out of 3 to the Braves. You know, at this point, we know who these teams are, right? We know who the Angels are, and we kind of know who the Royals are. Royals are a good, not great team, but on the up, and the Angels are, you know, they're the Angels. So there's a reason why the Royals are minus 240 on the money line, minus 1.5 is minus 120. Carson Fulmer did struggle in his last start. When you look at it, 3 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs, 2 homers allowed, 2 walks. So yeah, I mean, I would be looking at Royals minus 1.5 if you were saying, hey, give me a pick. That's the direction I would look at. Makes a lot of sense. Red Sox Astros, Tanner Houck on the mound versus Kikuchi for Houston. Houck's had a good year, and Kikuchi is a solid pitcher, even though his numbers are a little tough this year. 4.49 ERA, 1.29 WHIP. Houck has better numbers. Houston at home against Boston. You know, these are two good teams. I don't know if the Red Sox are going to end up making the playoffs or not, but these are two good teams who are going to fight and scratch and claw, and this should be a interesting series. If you're looking for a pick here, hmm, yeah, I mean, Houston's minus 150. I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. Good game. Don't really have any sort of lean to provide in this one, but just a good game. Let's see here. Excuse me, Twins Padres. Twins are pitching a guy, Zebby Matthews. I'm not familiar with him. If he's a prospect, he's 24 years old. If he's a top prospect in the Twins organization and you're watching this, I apologize. Not sure who Zebby Matthews is, but he's pitched 1 game this year, going up against Michael King for San Diego, who's had a really nice year for the Padres. Michael King, 10-6, 3.19 ERA, 1.17 WHIP. Yeah, Twins at Padres. Good series, interesting series. Padres are a pretty decent sized favorite here, minus 160. I understand why with the pitching advantage, but by no means do I want to lay minus 160 with this Padres team. Um, Coming home after a quick series in Colorado where they lost 2 out of 3. So the Padres have been red hot for like a month now, and maybe they're starting to potentially come back down to earth a little bit. It's not that much of an overstatement. So I might be looking to get a little funky here and take the Twins if you're looking for a lean, to be honest. Um, Rays and the A's. Rays 62-61 against the A's. Scrappy team, 53-71. Not a very good team, but a scrappy team. Um, you got Taj Bradley on the mound today for Tampa Bay. He struggled over his last 2 to 3 starts, and then for Oakland, you got Joe Boyle. Tough numbers on the year for Joe. 7.39 ERA, 1.83 WHIP. It makes a lot of sense to only, look at Tampa in this game. But you do have to, take into account that Bradley has really, really struggled over his last couple of starts here. Over under in this one is 7.5. Honestly, give me the over. Tampa should be able to score some runs against Boyle, and the A's should be able to score some runs against Bradley. Even though Bradley as a whole has been good on the year, he's really struggled here in his last 2 to 3 starts. So I would go over 7.5 runs in the Rays A's game. And then, of course, we got and I say of course because I'm a White Sox fan and the Sox game is right on the top of my feed here on ESPN. We got the White Sox and the Giants. Unfortunately, I'm a White Sox fan, but hey, that's where we are right now. Jonathan Cannon going for the Sox. Cannon's done a nice job. Honestly, all these pitchers have done a pretty good job for the Sox. The young guys have, like Drew Thorpe, Kai Bush, Jonathan Cannon. They've been respectable. They've held it down for sure. Um, Going up against Kyle Harrison. Obviously, I lean the Giants in this game. The Giants are a much, much better team than the White Sox, as pretty much everybody is in Major League Baseball. And Giants -1.5 is only -110. It's a very fair price, and that's definitely the direction I would lean. Really, no further explanation needed. Even though, like I said, I do appreciate how Cannon has pitched so far. But he still is a really young guy, and um, you know, definitely a lot to learn, and just kind of continue to grow and develop. And then the final game, we got the Mariners and the Dodgers. We got Brian Wu going on the mound. Wu's a nice pitcher going up against Gavin Stone. Stone's had a really nice year for the Dodgers in a year where the Dodgers have just, endured so many injuries, especially on the pitching front of things. Dodgers are starting to play a little bit better. Obviously, getting Mookie Betts back in the lineup helps them tremendously. They are going up against a good pitcher for Seattle tonight. However, thankfully for the Dodgers, the Mariners typically don't hit a lick. Gavin Stone on the mound. Look at his splits. His home and ERA or his home and road ERA are about the same. Um, had a nice outing last time out against the Brewers. I would definitely lean the Dodgers in this game, just given that they're at home. Mookie is back in the lineup. Ohtani is homered a couple times in the last few games, and Gavin Stone's coming off a nice start, and you can get the Dodgers at a fairly reasonable price of -135, -140 is what I'm showing here on ESPN Bet. So that's kind of the recap. That is the recap of the Monday MLB card. If you're looking for my picks, I would say take the Dodgers on the money line. I'm gonna pass and raise A's. Twins, Padres. I do lean Twins, but I'm gonna pass. Red Sox, Astros, pass. Angels, Royals. I'm gonna go Royals -1.5. I feel fine about that. Royals -1.5. Pirates, Rangers. I'm passing, but I do lean Pittsburgh. Baltimore versus the Mets. Give me the Orioles in that game on the money line. And I do lean the over in that one as well. Reds, Blue Jays, I'm going to pass. Diamondbacks, Marlins. Fine to take the Diamondbacks -1.5. Sure, add it to my card. And then White Sox, Giants -1.5 as well. So that is the MLB card for Monday, August 19th, 2024. If you did check this video out, I appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully you found some valuable information, and let's have a good night on the books. All right, peace.